Hi folks, so we're going to do a review and preview of the Upsilon Shuttle from FFG for the X-Wing Miniatures game. So we had the Fanatical Devotion article come out today, so this is basically a rundown of all the new information we got from that, and I'm going to just recap all of the cards that we've been shown basically. So the Upsilon Shuttle is 30 points for Pilot Skill 2. It comes in with 4 attacks, 1 agility, 6 hull and 6 shields. It has the focus, target lock and the coordinate action. Obviously we're used to seeing the coordinate action in the epic ships. This is the first standard size game ship to have it, as they do state in the article. It comes with a sensor slot, 2 tech slots and 2 crew slots. So it's a pretty beefy package, 4 attack dice. It's up there with the Phantom and the VCX 100. The Ghost. So pretty beefy attack. Has 1 agility, same as the regular shuttle, and then over the normal shuttle it has an extra hull and an extra shield. So pretty good package. I feel like you're getting decent value for, what is it, 21 points for shuttle? Yeah, 21 for an Omicron group pilot. So for 9 more points you're getting an extra attack, an extra hull, an extra shield, and access to technology slots. So, and the coordinate action obviously. So it feels like a decent deal. One thing that hasn't been spoiled yet is the dial, but with a little bit of messing around and having a look at different ships, obviously on the article it does show a green 2 bank. So there's only 4 large ships in the game at the moment that have the green 2. The Aggressor, the Jumpmaster can turn left and it'd be green, the Decimator and the aforementioned VCX 100. So I'd discount the Aggressor as a pretty unique kind of dial for the IG, and then the Jumpmaster's dial is definitely unique. So looking at the Decimator and the VCX 100, that's around about the dial I'd expect. The Decimator has got, where has it gone? There we go. All the 3s, all the 2s, and then no hard 1s. The VCX has got the hard 1s, but the red, and the hard 3s are red. It wouldn't surprise me if it kept the shuttles all stop. So somewhere around there. I mean, for this amount of points as well, I'd expect it to be a better dial than the shuttle. So that's around about where I'd be punching. If I was to make the ship now, I'd look at those 2 ships, the Decimator and the VCX 100, and put it somewhere around there. So that is the last of the standard pilots. So then the named pilots, we have Lieutenant Dormiz, I don't know, something like that. Pilot skill 3, 1 point extra. So you're getting a bump in pilot skill and the ability for 1 point, so normally a decent level. During setup, friendly ships may be placed anywhere in the play area at range 1 to 2 of you. So it comes in when you have the new Han Solo from the Heroes of Resistance pack, who can be deployed anywhere. This is another deployment shenanigans type thing. We'll get to one of the upgrades later on that really ties in well with this guy, and they do talk about it in the article. But I like Kris' ability. You're pretty much getting it for free anyway, so seems like a good card. Then we have Major Straden. I'm probably butchering all of these names. He's another point again for a bump in pilot skill. Pilot skill 4. For the purpose of your actions and upgrade cards, you may treat friendly ships at range 2 to 3 as being at range 1. So it's all about building synergies. You're not going to make a cheap shuttle with this guy, but you can make a good support shuttle. Maybe if you're looking to try and phase out playing the Emperor in the Palpmobile, this is the guy you're probably going to look at, but it's already starting at 32 points compared to the Palp Shuttle being 29. So it might be a bit of a stretch for this one, but I feel like you're going to play it in a different way. With this 4 attack value, it's definitely going to take in more part than Shuttle does. Then we have Kylo Ren. So he comes in at power skill 6 for 34 points. Does have an EPT as well, which I know that some of Facebook groups I've been glancing at this morning have been saying that there's a lot of points on top of the standard. It's only 4 points more and gives you access to the EPT. So if you're going to build an offensive powerhouse type shuttle, you can't overlook the access to its EPT slot. I mean, you can go all the way up to 8 VI. You can probably wouldn't take push on him, but you know, you've got these extra things. You could take a Predator, you could take an Expos, go up to 5 dice attacks. There's lots of different EPT. I mean, you take expert handling, get a barrel roll on your shuttle. And his ability is the first time you're hit by an attack each round, assign the I'll show you a dark side condition. So that's the same as his crew card. And we went through this condition in the past, but I'm going to just go over it again now. So when this card is assigned, if it is not already in play, the player who assigned it searches a damage deck for 1 damage card with a pilot trait and may place it face up on this card, then shuffle a damage deck. When you suffer a critical damage during an attack, you are instead dealt a chosen face up damage card. When there is no damage card on this card, remove it. So it explains it again in the article. I know that when I first did review, I feel like I got this one wrong. Basically, this will, if you take a crit to your shields, it still deals a card underneath the shields. So it's pretty good. With Kylo as an action for a crew card, it's fine. I feel like the best way to get access to I'll show you a dark side is Kylo Ren pilot. So that's where I'll be trying it, and I just use it more as a benefit rather than having to invest a crew slot and 3 points and an action. Spend that 3 points on upgrading the ship and you get in the condition for free basically. So I like that combination. Then we have General Hux as a 5-point crew, and this is where I feel like we start being able to replace Palpatine. I think General Hux is it's going to prove to be a really strong card. It's only 1 crew slot, so you've still got extra leeway with him, and he's only 5 points. The 5 points does mean that you cannot put him onto a TIE shuttle, so you know, people need to forget about that one. Choose up to 3 friendly ships at range 1 to 2. Assign 1 focus token to each of those ships and assign the Fanatical Devotion condition card to one of them, then receive 1 stress token. So it's an action that will choose 3 ships, including yourself. It doesn't say other friendly ships, so you can still give yourself a focus token. Okay, then we have what is Fanatical Devotion. It is when defending, you cannot spend focus tokens. So I'd seen some talk about trying to get this next part onto some of the Imperial Aces, but I'd be very wary. You've got to definitely remember this first sentence. When defending, you cannot spend focus tokens. When attacking, if you spend a focus token to change all eyeball results to hit results, set aside the first eye result that you change. The set aside result cannot be cancelled by defense dice, but defender may cancel crit results before it. During the end phase, remove this card. So it's pretty wordy, but I feel like they've tried to get any FAQ questions answered on the card before people ask them. It's obviously not being able to cancel it, blah blah blah. People would have asked if the crits that you get become uncancelable as well. Another good thing to note is that this is the actual use of a focus token for the regular focus effect. If you use calculation, you've not spent a focus token to change all eyeball results to hit results. If you use marksmanship, you've not spent a focus token. So you have to be using a focus token for its standard effect. It isn't just a spending of it, it's to do this specific thing. So that it's relatively clear. I still feel like it's wordy, but it's fine. But gives you uncancelable damage as long as you do the standard. So I believe, I'm going to put it out there now, that it should work in the same way as it won't work in the same way as being able to spend like the stress to not change any results, because if you roll all hits, you don't have an eyeball result to set aside, so you can't use this ability if you roll all hits, basically. So it's not as good as it could have been, because if you'd have worded it as when you spend a focus token to do the standard focus effect, set aside one of the hit results, blah blah blah. So I feel like that's how I would have worded it. I don't know if it must have come out too powerful in play testing that way, or if this wording evolved for another reason. But definitely a good ability, a good way of getting uncancelable damage. You know, with rerolls and stuff, you can reroll your hits if you want to try and force damage through. I think he's going to see play. I feel like a good target for Fanatical Devotion is actually himself. Being able to just drop it, Fanatical Devotion, onto yourself on the shuttle is a really good option. The 4 dice primary attack, it's going to be interesting. And then obviously getting lots of focus tokens passed around, I feel like is a good Palpatine-esque effect in that he's supporting your ships, but the range restriction is going to hurt him a little bit, and hopefully the shuttle style will be able to keep up with the rest of the formation. Like I said, the dial I'm expecting to see shouldn't be too much trouble. Then we have Kylo Ren Shuttle as the title, which I feel like we could have tried a bit harder with the name for this one. I mean, ST321 was the other shuttle title, but you know, Kylo Ren Shuttle is fine, I suppose. That's what we all call it anyway. At the end of a combat phase, choose an unstressed enemy ship at range 1 to 2. Its owner must assign a stress token to it, or assign a stress token to another ship at range 1 to 2 that player controls. So this card did feel really, really wordy. I think when I spoke about it in the spoiler article, I couldn't really figure out the reason why it was so wordy. But it does mean that you as a player have to be able to pick an unstressed ship at range 1 to 2 of you. If you can't pick an unstressed ship, you can't do it. But then your opponent can then bounce the stress onto an already stressed ship. So for example, if you're playing against a Dengaroo list, if you pick Manaroo, your opponent can say, no, that stress is going on to Dengar. So that is the only reason I can see for this card being that wordy. So it doesn't help against Dengaroo, basically, but whoop-de-doo. It's still a good card. I think any extra stress and control is pretty good. Snapshot we've already spoken about from the Heroes of the Resistance, but it does tie in with some of the other cards in this pack, so that's why I showed it. It's a secondary weapon attack that goes in your EPT slot. Range 1, anyone drops in after a maneuver, get to take a shot at them. So let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Hyperwave comm scanner. So this is a card that I was saying fits pretty well with the deployment shenanigans, because if you wanted to deploy some academy ties outside your deployment zone, you can take this card on your shuttle, deploy it skill 0. If you want to go for really high level plays and try and outplay your opponent with some weird strategies, you can deploy it power skill 12 and then put this on. I think they talk about tie FOs, but I was looking at maybe a quick draw to make sure you can get in and try and punish a fell or something with a quick draw, stupid shenanigans on the TIE Special Forces, all deploying at 12. There's definitely some things you can do. And we have Target Synchronizer. When a friendly ship at range 1 to 2 is attacking a ship you have locked, the friendly ship treats the attack TIE lock header as attack if a game effect instructs that your ship, well, so basically they can spend your target lock instead of having to spend their own. One I really liked this one on was, where's it gone? Zeta, what is it, Zeta Leader? No. Oh no, Epsilon Ace, that's the one, yeah. So put this one on Epsilon Ace, it's 20 points, but then you have a pilot skill 12 person who can fly in and get your target locks for you. So it lets you take the shuttle or the bombers with some torpedoes or something and guarantee your target locks. Or even if you wanted to do a death rain or something stupid like that, so a red line, you can use Epsilon Ace with this to make sure you're moving last to get your target locks, and then come in and just punish them. Because there's no other ship in the game that can actually move at pilot skill 12, so you're guaranteed to be moving last to get those target locks in. Then red line can just unleash hell on them. So it seemed an interesting combo. Then the last card we have is the Operations Specialist. After a friendly ship at range 1 to 2 performs an attack that does not hit, you may assign 1 focus token to a friendly ship at range 1 to 3 of the attacker. 3 points. This is an interesting card. So after a friendly ship at range 1 to 2 performs an attack, doesn't hit, and it doesn't set another friendly ship, so your own attacks count, you may assign 1 focus token to a friendly ship at range 1 to 3. So it's a weird one to explain. Obviously you can jump tokens and just chain them along, so there's lots of different ways in this pack of handing out focus tokens to friendly ships, target lock manipulation, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like it's a good support for ordnance firing ships. It lets you get those dream shots. There's going to be a lot more scope for getting those target locked focused attacks on people. You know, very rarely are the Imperials, if you go down this route, are going to have unmodified dice attacks anymore. Operations Specialist can drop onto a TIE shuttle. If you're going for a mid-level pilot skill list, you can make sure that, you know, your shuttle fires first, maybe with a tactician on board as well. You're not even planning on hitting, it doesn't matter, you want to miss to get a token onto somebody else. So going back down red line again, for example, you could do TIE shuttle with this, have your target locks established from your Epsilon Ace, do the attack with Epsilon Ace. If it misses, whatever, red line gets the focus. So it's now got target locked, you know, full modifiers on the attack. So it's going to be good. I feel like this one is probably one of the weirder cards, one of the more interesting ones, but lots of support in this pack that I really like, and there's going to be lots of builds to play around with. I'm still a little bit overwhelmed. You can probably see the starting of my thinking of some ideas of what I'm going to try. I'm going to have a go with red line and some other stuff. I want to try Kylo in the shuttle as just a powerhouse build. I still think there's going to be scope for running multiple of these shuttles. I think the dial is going to be pretty good, to be honest. I think we've gone away from the days of the shuttle dial. I mean, you only have to look at how ridiculous the Jumpmaster dial was, you know, how good the dial is on the VCX 100. I think the dial is going to be good. It probably won't have a K turn, but it'll probably have an all stop. So, you know, I think that's a good balance. But then if you start looking at the potential to have a similar dial to a VCX, it's just crazy. So that's where I'd put it. I mean, minimum level VCX is 35 points. This one's 30. We both got 4 attack dice. This one doesn't have access to turrets, so I know that the turret slot's pretty valuable. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. I'm definitely going to throw out there that maybe a 2 shuttle list could be viable with a little bit of support. But I think Kylo is probably going to be one of the stars just because of that EPT slot. And then the shenanigans you can pull with the other guys, like increasing the range on this card, for example, to 1 to 3 with the PS4 pilot, forgot his name now. there's going to be a lot of potential. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I don't think there's much else to cover until I've had some list building and done all of that. But hopefully it's going to be really good fun, and let me know if you've got any ideas, anything you think I've missed, or any obvious builds that I'm missing. But yeah, see you again soon.